You have looked at someone close to you and thought, why are they like this? And somewhere inside, you have also felt, why am I like this with them? Now imagine you are both just two pieces of a puzzle, on their own, uneven, incomplete, hard to understand, but never meant to complete themselves, only meant to connect. Welcome to Regulate and Rise with Khyati Adlakha. Today, let's look at relationships in a way we rarely do. Not as perfect matches, not as ideal alignments, but as pieces of a puzzle that were never meant to look complete on their own. We often enter relationships with an expectation. I should feel understood. They should behave a certain way. This should feel easy. And when it doesn't, we start noticing differences. One person is expressive, the other is reserved. One wants clarity immediately, the other needs time to process. One plans ahead, the other flows with the moment. And slowly, these differences start feeling like problems. But what if they were never problems? What if they were simply different edges of the same puzzle? Think about this. There is someone who feels deeply, notices tone, reads between the lines, and they are with someone who is more practical, grounded, less expressive, more solution oriented. At first, it feels frustrating. One says, you don't understand me. The other says, you overthink everything. And without realizing, you are not reacting to the person. You are reacting to what in them doesn't match with you. But look closer. One brings depth, the other brings stability. One expands emotional awareness, the other brings perspective. They are not opposing each other, they are balancing each other. Let's look at another example. One person is always available, always giving, always present, and the other knows how to pause, set boundaries, protect their energy. Again, it feels like conflict. You are too rigid. You are too available. But look deeper. One teaches openness, the other teaches limits. Together, they create balance. This is how a puzzle works. No two pieces are identical. They are designed differently so they can connect meaningfully. But somewhere along the way, that difference stops feeling like connection and starts feeling like conflict. And slowly, you stop seeing the person, you start seeing a problem that needs to be corrected. And that's where connection begins to break because the goal was never similarity, it was complementarity. Some relationships don't struggle because of differences. They struggle because those differences are misunderstood. And this is where awareness becomes important. Because if you don't see this clearly, you start rejecting what was actually balancing you. You label it as incompatibility, mismatch, problem, when in reality, it was just a different piece of the same picture. And I see this often in my work. People come in thinking they need to fix the relationship, but we don't start there. We start with the individual patterns. How do you respond? What do you expect? Where do you overextend? Where do you hold back? Because once you understand your own pattern, you begin to see the other person differently. Not as someone who is wrong, but as someone who is different. And that difference starts to make sense. I've seen people shift from, why are they like this, to, this is what they bring. And that changes everything. Because now you're not trying to fix the puzzle, you are learning how the pieces fit. So today, just notice one thing, one quality in someone close to you that you have been resisting. Not to change it, not to correct it, just to see it differently. Ask yourself, is this a flaw? Or is this something I haven't understood yet? If something in this episode felt a little too familiar, that's not a coincidence. That's the moment awareness begins. And if you have been experiencing patterns in your relationships that feel repetitive or difficult to understand, this is exactly the work I do. Through handwriting analysis and life skills, we don't just look at compatibility, we look at patterns and how those patterns interact with the people around you. Because once you see that clearly, you don't just improve relationships, you experience them differently. If you feel ready to explore this, you can reach out to me, because sometimes you are not missing the right person, you are missing the right understanding. This is how we regulate, and this is how we rise.